Shower the people you love with love. Show them.
Hi, I'm Ann. I live in Garden City. I go to the senior center, and I saw the flyer, and I was very, very happy to see it. When I first moved in, there was a volunteer and paid service of teenagers, and that disappeared for many years, and now I really need it. So Hanks was just the answer to my prayers. Well, at present, since I just began to do that work, I had a young man come to the house the other day. I have a problem with my computer, and I'm going to be asking other Hank members to come and give me little by little more information about how to use my computer properly. But I also have work in the garden, and I have other small jobs, even just screwing in a light bulb, which has to be done, and I can't do it anymore. That would be wonderful. I used that when I first moved in. And I would also like them to come and do the moving of the decorations at the different holidays, because I leave things down in the basement very often or in the garage, and moving those things is difficult. In fact, just leaving my house right now, I have a gentleman who does handiwork for me who's getting older, and he's coming to put in air conditioners for me. And I had somebody else who had to come to carry the air conditioners into the house. I hadn't thought about calling Hank. It was too late to do that for today. I love the idea. I was a school principal, and safety is first. Our safety as the seniors, but certainly the safety of the young people. And so the gentleman who came to my house was vetted. Janine came to my house and looked around to make sure that it was an appropriate place to bring somebody into. His mom came with him that day, so I got to meet everybody. I feel like it's part of the community, and it's a part that's so necessary. I always encouraged my students to do service for others, and I've lived my life doing service for others, and I still do. But I'm not capable of doing all the different kinds of service that I used to do, and so now I have partners, my Hanks students. What a wonderful idea. I know that my firefighter friends have recommended that we change our batteries once a year. And I believe November is fire month. And so I have some of them come over once in a while, but rather than bother them, since they're working so hard keeping us safe from fires, I'll call some of the Hanks volunteers and students to come and do that work. That's wonderful, giving them life skills. I was just thinking the other day, my husband had no life skills because his father never taught him how to do anything. And we had to call people in from the time we were married because he couldn't open a box and put something together. I used to ask the people in the stores, could we have this floor model? And no matter how big the item was, they would do that to make it so that we could use it. But I think it's important for us to all have life skills, not just the boys. The girls as well. We can do anything that the boys could do, and we should be able to pitch in and let things be gender neutral when things have to be done. I'm not surprised by that, but hopefully we'll get some young ladies. For so many of us, we're by ourselves. And we started a group on Thursdays at the senior center for the people who came to the pool last summer. They said to me before we left, what are we going to do? We're not going to see each other anymore. I said, well, why don't we go to the senior center and just sit and talk the way we do at the pool? And so many of them are by themselves. Most unfortunately, last summer I had some cardiac issues, and I wasn't able to drive for 6 months on doctor's orders. And so the ladies helped me. But if I had had a young person who could, I don't know if they're allowed to drive either, but those kinds of things, but going to the supermarket with me. Through Hanks. So I'm glad that it began. You had a wonderful idea and you put it into fruition, and we can continue to grow it. And I will do what I can to let other people know that you're available to help. Something as simple as going to the post office and buying stamps. At the beginning of the year, the end of the year, Christmas time, whenever it's needed. things that people don't even realize that we can't do anymore. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. We have the pleasure in our village of being able to put our recycling out and taking the boxes down, breaking up the boxes. We can't do that anymore, but somebody else can. And so it benefits all of us. I'd like to say to parents of young people, get your child involved. The more we do for others, the better we are in our lives. You get more than you give.
Please consider making a tax-deductible donation today. This will allow us to continue pairing teens with seniors to help the seniors with household tasks. Thank you so much.